Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, March 14th, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 2020. The models are in. Snow in PA. Hey, take a look. The Sierras are going to be picking up to 6 feet of snow. And then there's another event as we enter April. And if you woke up this morning in Portland, well, it was a winter wonderland. Take a look. Hello, Portland. It's still winter there. Keep calm. It's boom time. Slushy snow makes for wet roads early Saturday morning in Nebraska, followed up by Iowa. We're going to check the snowfall analysis in a moment. Cold winter storm will bring widespread snow to elevations above 2,500 feet this weekend. And we're talking California. Do not put your shovels away. Major flooding sets back Webster County farmers in Georgia. This is just the beginning of planting season, and the southeast is saturated. But cooler, wetter weather could result in later flood season up north. And we're talking about the Red River Basin. This time last year, there was flooding up in Nebraska. And this time this year, there's flooding at the Minnesota River, where it was expected to crest over the last few days. And so I pulled up the map here. Here's the real time, and it is still above flood stage as of making this video. So flooding is going to be epic this spring. Officials warning of flash flooding at Zion National Park, and it's just beginning. Here's the saturation map, real-time stream flow compared to historical stream flow for the rest of the year. Blue dots, extremely saturated. Black dots, oversaturated. Areas of Texas and Arizona, all over the country that are ripe for flooding, except here, where they didn't get any snow, really. In that region, not ripe for flooding. And also, they could use a little bit of water out here in California still. But that will be coming. Several storms to impact the western U.S. with heavy mountain snow and rain. Take a look. There's a system moving through Kansas City, Little Rock, towards Nashville right now. There could be some severe weather. We'll get to that in a second. But there are the winter weather advisories for the storms that are coming, and they're coming here as well. Rain and snow forecast through Wednesday. Mountain snow 4 to 6 feet possible south of Reno. Heads up. And that's Sierra cement we're talking about. Bring you over here to the snowfall analysis from the last 24 hours. And you can see a healthy amount of snow falling up here in the Montana region, up to a foot in some regions, as well as Washington and Oregon, right on the border there, 1.5 feet of snow. Big winter in Utah here, picking up about 1.5 feet. And we have some big totals here in Colorado, 18 inches. And more is on the way. We just passed 300 inches at Wolf Creek. Heavy snow over the western U.S., flash flood threat for the Hawaiian Islands. An active weather pattern will persist across much of the western U.S. this weekend. Heavy snow and hazardous travel conditions are likely from portions of the Rockies to the Sierras, Cascades, and the northern plains. Blizzard conditions will persist over Alaska. A Kona low will produce heavy rain and flash flooding over the Hawaiian Islands next week. There are blizzard warnings in 5 counties up here in Montana. So go to weather.gov, click on your county if you're worried about flooding or winter storm warnings. And it's going to be an interesting spring, folks. Death toll at 21 as Egypt storms and flooding enter a second day. So that rapidly developed. Totally fluxed in Egypt. We talked about this yesterday. It was only 3 deaths. Now they're up to 21. Seismic update. There are no quakes of note. There was a interesting quake here over in Tanzania that just kicked off. The biggest quake of the day, the 6.3 rumbler in the middle of nowhere. But this Tanzania quake that kicked off about 30 hours ago made me remember the Tanzania earthquake that killed 13 and injured more than 200 just a few years ago. Same spot. Now, this earthquake was a little bigger at 5.7 magnitude in September of 2016. And the one that kicked off yesterday in Tanzania was in the 4 mag. So, very interesting quake happening there. Worldwide volcano news. There are no volcanic events of note. All is quiet on the Western Front, which is good news because there's lots of bad news worldwide. Australia's fire-ravaged forests are recovering. More good news. Ecologists hope it lasts. That's all they're going to tell us. Now, you may be asking yourself, what causes an ice age to end? And a new paper coming out of the University of Melbourne blames it on orbital perturbations of the Earth, specifically the Milankovitch perturbations. And in this paper, they focus on the obliquity cycle. And using the latest radiometric techniques, the international team determined the age of the two terminations occurred at 960, 875 5 years ago, and the ages suggest the initiation of both were consistent with Earth's tilt angle, which is the obliquity cycle, a 40,000-year cycle, which seems to be the major cycle in the last million years. And here's the paper, Persistent Influence of Obliquity on Ice Age, Termination since the Mid-Pleistocene Transition. And since the Mid-Pleistocene Transition, the whole Earth has changed. Prior to that, it was working in a different protocol. And here's a paper I did 27 years ago. And we were looking at the same things, only way back in the Paleozoic, in the Devonian of the Cedar Valley group in Iowa, where we were uncovering orbital forcing of the precessional cycle, the cosmic catastrophe cycle. 4 or 5 cycles every 100,000 years, and then a major boundary. This is going back 350 million years. Same cycles, same cosmic catastrophe. Here's a picture back turn of the century of those very catastrophe cycles. You can see the scale. About a meter is every 12,000 years. And each one of these boundaries is a major catastrophe, a catastrophic change of environment, from one environment below to a completely new environment above. Mind-blowing. I hope you got something out of the video. Science is fun. Be prepared. Don't be scared. I know supplies are limited. And a little levity to end the show. A pack of toilet paper netted $350 at a benefit auction yesterday in Pagosa Springs. And it benefited the Pagosa Springs Girls Choir. We don't have any toilet paper in town, folks. 9 rolls, $350. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Be safe. We love you. Let's boo.